Thank you very much. If I can just get this going. There we go. So we're all here today, all talking about how we create unicorns, how we create a billion-dollar business in Southeast Asia. And there's some fantastic ideas, but I think the reality is everyone that's going to present over the next 2 days is not going to create a unicorn. It's really hard work. We're certainly not a unicorn yet, but we're trying very, very hard every single day to build out our business. I suppose 3 things, just from my perspective, before I get into the presentation, that I think are critical for someone who's going to run the business, run the operations of an online digital business. First of all, you've got to find something that's going to solve a real-world problem. Now, has anyone in the room bought a car from a car dealer in Southeast Asia? Anyone? Pretty terrible experience, right? You know, no one trusts them. They wind back the clocks. Don't know where that car's been. You're getting ripped off. The industry is completely broken, and that's the opportunity for us at iCar Asia. Secondly, you have to be completely passionate and you have to completely believe in what you're doing. Because every day you're going to get tested and you've got to believe what you're doing. You're making things better for the car seller. You're making things better for the car buyer. And then thirdly, you've got to be absolutely committed. As I said, every single day there's going to be reasons why your idea is not going to work, why your business is going to fail, why Thailand or Indonesia or Malaysia are different for us. And every day you've got to keep getting out of bed and making sure you do the hard yards. So it's not all Hollywood glamour. It's actually putting in those hard yards every day. So let me introduce our company, iCar Asia. We are publicly listed on the Australian Securities Exchange. We listed in September 2012. We operate in ASEAN's 3 largest automotive markets, in Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand. Our vision is to be the largest and most trusted digital automotive marketplace in ASEAN. We are absolutely starting with 3 countries first, another 3 largest. So that's what we're concentrating on. We stay very, very focused on these 3 countries. Our purpose, so what's that real world challenge that we're trying to solve? As I said, we are every day looking at how we change and improve the way people buy and sell cars across ASEAN. And it's tough. We are absolutely changing an industry. And in the 3 years since we started operating, you can really see the change of what bringing transparency and trust to listings of cars online actually produces. So it's really exciting. So the first 3 years of our journey has all been about growing market share. So we didn't speak a lot about revenue over the last 3 years. It's all been about how do we actually get all the cars listed on our site in each of the 3 countries? How do we actually get the most amount of car buyers coming to our site? And then how do we provide the most amount of leads, which ends up being currency for monetization? 3 years in, we think we're doing a pretty good job. We're on our way. We're not going to be an overnight success in terms of creating a billion-dollar business. 100% believe we're going to get there. We're well on our way to getting there, but it's probably going to take somewhere between now and 5 years until we get to a billion-dollar company. But that's where we're heading. So I thought I'd take you through today sort of the journey. So I started off talking about this is hard work, and it is hard work. So I might take you through year by year in terms of our journey and where we've got to from here, and I suppose where we're going. So I think about pre-2012 as sort of creation stage. So I turned up here in Southeast Asia from Australia 5 years ago. And I can tell you days like today were a dream back then. The industry's come an incredible long way, especially thanks to people like Patrick and Catcher Group. But back pre-2012, first of all, we had to choose our industry. So online classifieds, there's typically 3 big verticals. There's jobs, there's property, and there's cars. And we disrupt print. So that's the old model of what we're doing. Now, typically they flow in that order, and jobs was being done quite successfully. So that was happening with JobsDB and JobStreet. Property was happening with iProperty. They listed in 2007, but no one was doing the automotive vertical. So we chose the automotive marketplace. That was where we wanted to actually concentrate. Choosing the countries. So again, what we wanted to make sure that we did was look at the biggest opportunity. Okay, so you look at things like, wealth of per capita GDP. You look at internet penetration. We know it's a massive opportunity. But more importantly, how many cars are actually being sold per year? So by a long way, Malaysia, Indonesia and Thailand were all transacting more than 1 million vehicles per year. So those were the countries that we wanted to concentrate on. Choose the model. So we did not start organically. So we did not decide, oh, we're going to jump in these countries, start up a site with a new brand, and then start growing under iCar Asia. So what we did was we looked at those countries and went, who is the early stage leader that has brand equity in the market? So in Malaysia, there was a site called carless.my. So that has been around since 2008. Right, so it's been around now for 8 years. Down in Indonesia, there's a site called Mobile 123, Mobile 123. So that had also been around since 2008. And then up in Thailand, there was a site called 12car. Now that's been around now for 13 years. All of these sites were foundation sites, not overnight successes. So that's how we chose to start our model. The unfortunate thing is back in 2012, when we were putting the assets together, we were unable to get our hands on 12car. So we did the next best thing. We acquired a content site and we started building out our proposition from there. So then 2012, so this is when we listed on this Australian Stock Exchange. So first of all, we acquired the foundation assets. Now they were all contingent on the successful IPO. Right? So we didn't have operational control of the assets until we listed in September 2012. We went to the path of ASX. A lot of people ask me the question, why did you go to the ASX? It was quite simple for us. Firstly, it was fast. And we had to move really fast to get the funding and secure the assets. You go to a young entrepreneur and you say, hey, I'm a publicly listed company in Australia. We're a big deal. We want to acquire your business. It becomes a lot easier to acquire that business. So it was quite important strategically to be able to do that as well. Define your purpose. So as I said, the automotive industry is completely broken. So it was a huge opportunity for us to actually get in and provide a digital solution for that industry. And create and implement business plan. So basically, one of the things that I think was critically important for us in the early stages is we defined who the customer was. So the customer was a used car dealer, and that's all we cared about. We built everything, service, products, technology, everything was built for the used car dealer. Core metrics, how are we going to define our success and how we build out market leadership? It was all about the listings, all about audience, all about leads. Mobile first approach, everyone's talking about it. Yes, we have in most of our sites, over 70% of all our traffic comes from a mobile device. So critically important. And that's not just on the buyer side for the buyer-facing portal, but also on the seller side for the products we had that help dealers sell their cars. And then a brutal focus. And I'll talk a little bit more about that a bit later. 2013, we're still in market share. It was all about growing listings. So anyone that was part of our business back in early 2013, the only thing we spoke about across 3 countries was listings. Getting all the inventory on all the car dealership lots across the 3 countries with the highest quality. So there's 4 key areas of quality that a car buyer cares about. They want lots of good photos. They want an odometer reading, even though they're not accurate, but they want an odometer reading. They want the best price and they want lots of description. So we made sure we built out our listings to have all these things. We wanted to have the best in-market consumer experience. Now that didn't mean going and building the greatest app the world has ever seen or the greatest website the world has ever seen. We actually deliberately just made sure our product was the best in-market because we didn't want to waste a whole lot of investment early on in building these things out. We just had to be best in market and run really hard. And then win audience. I can't stress, we all talk about learnings in terms of startup businesses. Set your SEO foundations early, really important. Make sure that you're not going to be reliant on paid traffic as you grow. So that's really important to do that in the early stages of your business. Daily tracking, so we put in place really daily monitoring. So we would have a report every single day, every cent we're spending, where the traffic's coming from, how we can optimize it, how we can spend it better tomorrow. It's critical for our business success. It was all about quality and not volume. So that comes to the leads. So making sure that the traffic we were buying send a lead. So there's no point in buying all this traffic if they're not doing what your business is all about. And then brand building through marketing. We did a lot. 2014. Now this was the year that we set ourselves, we had to win the lead market share in all 3 countries. And we had to do it by the end of the year to be on track with our strategy. So if you're in our business during 2014, it's all we spoke about. Leads. Are we delivering leads from marketing, from on-site activity and what we're doing to our site, the communication we're having to our dealers. So how we went about doing that was all about volume and quality through that marketing. Measurement of lead source. So we created our own back-end system, which we call the RMS, the Response Management System. All mobile first. So a typical car dealer across our 3 countries, think about it. They run their dealership off a whiteboard, or they run their dealership off a notepad in their pocket. So we were disrupting the industry. We were giving them a back-end RMS system, a response management system, which is a CRM system for their sales funnel. They could manage their sales team. They could upload their listings. They could edit their listings. They could manage all their leads coming through that CRM system. So whether they're SMS or phone calls. And then they could buy product. So it was all e-commerce enabled. So we built that all e-commerce, all mobile first. So we pitch it to dealers that you can run your dealership from a mum-up stall after work. That's the sort of thing that we're building. And then education. So you can imagine a typical car dealer across our 3 countries. Now, they're not the most tech savvy. They do have a mobile phone, but to educate them on how to sell cars online and sell them faster is a really big education process. So 2015, if anyone's inside our business now, what you'll hear us talk about this year is revenue. Right? So we haven't spoken about it for the first 3 years. Now we talk about it a lot. We've made a lot of investment in 3 countries to grow the market share. We've made a lot of investment developing product. So now it's about getting return on investment for the money we've spent. So the other thing is, 3 years ago we defined it was a used car dealer. We're now changing who the key customer is, and that's something that inside the business is quite relevant. So now we're saying the key customer for us is the car buyer. So we've won the car seller. It's now for us is about the car buyer. And this is where, I suppose, evolving our product from being best in market to best in breed, looking at consumer apps, all these things are all underway at the moment to continue to build that out. We're also not just looking at the used car market. We're evolving our business to be very new car skewed as well. And we have an enormous amount of products coming out about that. The other big opportunity for us is the private seller market. And that is something that we're starting to look more and more into at the moment. If anyone wants to sell their car, please go to CarList and sell your car online with us. You'll sell it faster and more trusted. Core metrics, all about RMS engagement. So as Facebook wants you to come to Facebook every single day, we want a car dealer to go into our RMS every single day and manage their inventory. We want it to be something that they have to use to run a successful business these days. And then education, it continues. So to become a billion-dollar company, we have to be the largest, we have to be the most trusted. We have to solve a real-world problem, okay? And that is what we get out of bed every morning to think about how we're going to actually do that. And there was a question earlier about classifieds. What's the future of classifieds? And Sean from Digital Ventures answered it, which I completely agree. Classifieds, our vision is to be a marketplace. So winning the classified piece is just the first step. There's so many opportunities around the transaction of a vehicle, whether it's new or used, private or dealer. And those are all the things that we're thinking about every day. Where's the business next? How do we actually grow it towards 2020? Which is really exciting. So where are we now? So listings. So across Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, we have over 400,000 cars listed for sale on our site. We have nearly 8 million people coming to our sites every month. Of those 8 million, 660,000 of them are active car buyers. So we have 660,000 actually send a lead every month. Our RMS, we have over nearly 6,500 dealers logging into our RMS system every month. We've got 3,300 paying dealers. And we just had a major milestone in July. So for a business that's investing heavily early on, about growing market share, we just had our first profitable country in Thailand in the month of July. So we're very excited about that. So the secret to success for us, basically align your business idea to big opportunities. Broken car industry, let's solve it. No need to reinvent the wheel. So that's what we've done. We've taken an existing model in Western countries, we've brought it here, but the important thing is localize, make it relevant. So each of our countries has a lot of differences. So they may seem the same overall, but in each country they're very different, very localized to be successful in each country. Define your customer, really important. Build everything for the customer that you're looking for. You can't be everything to everyone. So that would be something that I think has been very important for us. Be brutally focused. So I do think it's more important what you don't do than what you do. We've only been in 3 countries for 3 years, and we continue to stay in 3 countries, because if we win these 3 countries, then we're going to be an incredibly massive company. And then we can go and buy whoever we want in the Philippines or Vietnam or wherever else we choose to go. So for us, it's about being brutally focused on what we're doing and don't get distracted. And move fast, learn on the run, improve, and go again. So we don't spend a lot of time testing things and then going live. We test it live, and then we change it. And that's, I suppose, keeping that startup energy alive, making sure you can keep doing that. But I suppose to finish, the biggest thing that I've learned in my 5 years in ASEAN and building companies that I would recommend to anyone when they ask me, the key to building a successful company in ASEAN is 5% strategy. You've got to have a great strategy. But it's 5% strategy and it's 95% execution. Every day, you've got to be working with everyone to make sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing to take your business towards your vision. And that is critical for the importance of our business as we move towards 2020, and it's been critical to getting to where we are today. So thank you very much.